This will be episode 86, cycle 1459 and onward. Ugh. I doubt we could get the nuclear power plant online today. We might be able to, but it's going to be really tight. Mostly, I think the main reason it's going to be tight is because I think we're going to just use supercoolant. In the last episode, we actually pulled supercoolant, which was good. Sadly, I did not get any recordings done last week. Mostly down to the fact that I had to take care of family, and that required an absolutely stupid amount of work. So, we had no time to actually record any action. But this week, we are good to go. Thankfully. Sadly, on Tuesday, we did end up having massive internet issues, but I wasn't really going to record action included on Tuesday anyway. We were going to do Command Land, and yeah, that happened. And obviously, we also had power outages this morning, so there was that too. But thankfully, I don't stream in the mornings because I know the network and everything else normally goes to shit in the morning, so I just ignore that. But let's do our usual priority check. Make sure all of the planets are loaded. Five. Pretty good. I am thinking that we'll go back to using the multi-suit system, but I really did want to finish all of this before we did that. Main thing is 187. You finally have supercon. So the cap is 436.9. Perfectly reasonable. Big thing will be to get supercoolant down here. This guy right here. Activate construct. It's not a big deal. Is up correct. Yes. Yeah. Okay. We'll need to come back here and fix this point. But most of that is actually okay right now. Nope. Get more nuclear waste in here. Tips, please come clean that up real quick. Good. The music should kick in once the actual cycle transfers over. Apparently the only issue that we're dealing with. Let's check up Palin real quick. Up here, 29 degrees. 11. We'll let that go down a little bit more before we allow more lava and start cleaning that out. Well, to continue cleaning that out, I should say. Here, it's dropping. Good. Don't really need the Weezework cooling, but it's nice to see that it's actually doing something for once. We have so much excess material, I don't really care. Baku are okay. Good. Fine. Still worried about the industrial cooler, but it should be okay. On paper, it's more than enough cooling for everything to be running at the same time, but I'm still worried. 40 cycles of really, really, really hot cobalt that'll be coming through. That's the part I'm worried about. I'll have to wait and see on this one. I do not believe that even with an actual output system, I am going to be able to produce enough polluted oxygen through just one sifter system for all these puffs. Just too many of them. Dubes, which one of you third around? Oh, somebody did it. Now, Proto, switch with pencil. Pencil actually needs to spray. Don't do. Pencil. Take up the other wheel. There you go. Training wheel's here, excess power wheel is here. Hopefully that can hold. Find out as time progresses. 300 kilograms. 30 pipes worth. That's about there. So yeah, we need 7, 9. I need about 2/3. 2/3 more. Fortunately, these things are still nuts. Normally, you just kind of want to stick this thing inside of your steam room, but I'm just gonna work with what we've got right now. $100. We might be able to actually fill the nuclear cooling loop tonight. Or they'll have to send another rocket launch and then come back again. We might actually, yeah, we might actually do it. Yeah, this is an actual possibility. Sweet. Okay. You are completely plugged in, right? Yes. The potential load of the entire base, though, is still a little high. Really nothing I can do about that, but that's just because we have a lot of machinery. I do mean a lot. Everything is on its own network, so we shouldn't have any shorts. First things first, put supercoolant down here. Hottest temperature in this room, 225. Supercoolant can handle up to 400. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. Oh, bristleberry. Frankie Doctor with +9, but they're biohazardous. Got though, Night Owl. Not bad. If you would showed up earlier, I would have taken you. ONI, Masterworks, biohazardous. Squeamish critter aversion. No. Ada, you got screwed again. Take the bristleberry. We're not really going to use it anywhere because it kind of doesn't really work anywhere. I do believe bristleberry does have a higher tier of food, but I don't really need them nor use them. So that's kind of one of we're sitting on that one. We'll need it for one of the achievements later, but that's about it. And once we get that achievement up, we're done. 27, 28. You coming out as 18 to 6. 18 to 0. Okay. Let's pop this open, allow more lava in. That way we can actually continue to clean this out. Because there is currently a sulfur geyser locked behind a giant wall of exceedingly hot death. Baby's coming to remove it. Good. And I should mention this is around 1,400 degrees, and here is only 131. Yep. Good news is there's enough steam mass and other stuff that I don't really have to care too much about it for a little bit. Come back to that and fix that up afterwards. Do need to rock that. This one. Next ONI series. Some sort of panic every other episode. Yeah. When it came down to Mike and him doing Oxygen Not Included, I was always just like, Mike, it's not as bad as you think it is. It could be so much worse. And so I always felt whenever I was watching him. And it's just like, Mike, like, I'm not gonna backseat, but goddamn it, man, it's not that bad. It's not even that. Like, Mike refused to do actually play to the game's mechanics in some ways, which then made it just so much more annoying for him in general. Just need to mop this up and send this into the pipe system. Like, he absolutely refused to use liquid locks, even though this is a completely actually normal thing to do, and is also part of the game's mechanics. And it's just like, it's not. This is not some mystical thing. It's being able to make a actual airlock using liquid. This can be done in real life. They're called moon pools. You also can separate oils using this method as well. Done in chemistry. And he was just like, I refuse! Or, you know, killing creatures using water. It was also something that he refused to do for a while. I was just like, it's a mechanic. Like, not even difficult. Come on, man. Like I don't want to be rude here, but play to the game. Come on, Mike. You're making this unnecessarily more difficult than it needs to be. Whether you realize it or not. If you need an airlock, just make the old T block and then slap a mechanical airlock door on it. Boom, done. So, the downside to that is it will actually crush materials, so you normally would just use a pneumatic door. which is really weird, but that is actually how it works in this game. So it's like, okay, cool. Because the problem is that the mechanical airlock door will actually delete materials, which is actually not good. Because it doesn't make any sense. Like, where'd the mask go? The door crushed it. Where did it go? It disappeared. It's like, what? I will do. I always try to play to the point where I'm like, if it completely breaks the laws of physics by like the extreme, we do not do it. If it's a bug, like an actual bug, then we don't do it here on the channel. But if it's something that can be done by everybody, it is a core mechanic of the game and a core mechanic of the overall material system that is in Oxygen Not Included, and that is all completely fair. Hopefully we can get all the super cool in here. It'd be nice if I can. Also, seeing this as super coolant, I can bring this technically down to probably just 0, because I don't really want to go to like negative 30. If I do, that'll actually possibly put the petroleum into freeze range. Because, I mean, super coolant, I can literally just hit this button and let it go, and it will do it. Because it can reach absolute 0 and it will not care. Also, if you factor in neutronium's existence, this stuff is literally completely impervious to everything. Temperature, pressure, everything. Like, yep, here's your wonder material that caused all the problems in the lore. Make 2 more extra of that. Should hopefully be enough. Temperature in here. 5. 138 already. We're not going to really be able to see that much of a temperature gradient for a while, but we will eventually. The one egg that's in the one spot that I can't reach. As you can see, the only tile I can't reach effectively. Just because neutronium is in the way. Again, you can't get rid of it or move it. We're up to 5.4 kilograms. How much radiation actually? Still being affected by the excess nuclear waste bug. Can't get rid of. Nuclear waste in Oxygen Not Included can sometimes self-duplicate just how it's coded. And then other times it will just randomly make no sense. These are airflow tiles. They cannot accept fluids. There's currently liquid nuclear waste sitting inside these airflow tiles. I cannot get rid of it. I'd have to break out dev tools to get rid of it. Because it's an annoying bug. But we're doing a full achievement run, so we can't. So I just have to live with the fact that I've got a bugged problem. Temperature's looking 40 degrees. Pile on it. There's a high likelihood eventually this will solidify inside this little area right here. And not into material, but into a solid chunk. Because I am slowly draining the temperature from all of this magma. Everything that the magma is currently touching is actually transferring temperature. Probably reseal that before that gets over 60. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, that one. Just be good across the entire base. That's fine. I am worried about the water situation still. We are producing a lot of water. Problem is that I do not send it within batches. More optimized way of doing it. But the big downside to that is that sometimes the water can dip down low. And it doesn't look good. I don't like that. Probably need to make a better water basin. Yeah, exactly. Gotta stay hydrated. But it's relatively easy to make excess water. Your dupes are technically water positive because they convert their food into water. Oh, let me get bees. Yep. How bad is it? Ah, it's just bee. That's fine. Radioactive bees. They're really, really, really useful. Because, well, they kind of can put out 1,000 kilograms of hydrogen on an infinite loop. I actually cannot get rid of the amount of hydrogen that we're producing. Even if I filled the entire thing with gas pumps and piped it all out, I would not be able to actually offset in this chamber specific size the amount of hydrogen that is being produced by the Saturn critter traps. I would need an extra 4 for how much space is left in there. And this. Let me turn that off. Just let the system fill. There we go. Why aren't you filling? No, because these intermittent brackets are when the system would run. And once we get all the supercoolant in, we'll be doing pretty good. One, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10. Might be enough. I don't think we need any more. We've got it. Yep, we've got it. And yep, okay. The entire thing is now completely filled. This. And I can remove this. We use the bridge because the bridge actually allows it to be inserted on top of these. So it's just it'll equalize into 10 kilograms no matter what you do. Mop up that. Actually send that off. Super coolant is extremely, extremely expensive. At least time-wise it is. that's gone, then we can get rid of the excess pipes. And all we'll have is the nuclear pipe on the output over on my right. Mop all of that up. Good. That, we don't need it. Even get rid of that. I was originally thinking we were going to use nuclear waste, but seeing we have actual access to supercoolant before we get that, then let's use the best we can use in the entire game. Why the heck not? No point in not doing it. Our downside, obviously, is some of the excess supercoolant is going to be around 175 degrees. Yay! That is stupid hot. Not the worst thing in the world, just not a good thing. Let's go with mission wire. Like that back there. We're gonna put the supercoolant so I don't have to think about it. It's stupid hot right now, so I'm like, where's the closest cooling loop? I should say, where's the closest safe cooling loop? I could actually shove the supercoolant inside the steam room and cool it off. Yeah, this stuff is hot. Hot, hot, hot. Very, very hot. I could actually replace all the naphtha in here and cool that down. It's gonna get really hot in here for a little bit, but it would not be the end of the world to do that. No, that's great. Do that. Alright. Okay. I'm just gonna do this. Apply. Bridge here. There. And apply plumbing here. So the entire pipe network and this is completely drained and then replaced with supercoolant because this will actually be converted into a supercoolant system. Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good actually. Do need that built though. Oops. And yes, this one will be going all the way on up here and connecting to this. So all of that has to be ceramics, that way there's no temperature transfer at all. Because, well, this is going to be 250, possibly 300 degrees nuclear waste. And I really, 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 really do not want that leaking into the base. It's probably going to be around 200 degrees to 175, but we'll have to wait and see how the cooling works. It could spike up to 300 degrees, and that's what concerns me. Okay, it's hot. It's really, really, really hot. Like the nth degree of hot. About to hit the threshold point. 6. We're slowly eradicating problems here. Are you guys holding up over here? Skills. Athletics is up to 11. Very good. Very good. We are improving. Random sleep. That's fine. Do you think it might be time that we start cleaning up excess materials? All of these guys are running max. 38.7. We are leaking some heat over here. It should be fine. Okay, so the cobalt is currently 14 degrees. 12. Good. By the way, we're taking, what, 2,000? Yeah, 2,226.9 degree liquid cobalt, converting it into a solid mass, taking it onto a conveyor belt, and then taking it all the way over here to my giant industrial-sized radiator, and then sapping out the extra heat that's left over, and then bringing it up to the base so we can actually play. It is a massive amount of energy that I'm working with, and currently I am just utilizing it to create a little excess energy and also I'm still worried about how much energy I am inverting into this room. Stuff's coming up 700 degrees. Oof. It takes it down to 40 degrees as the current. Eight. Exactly the same temperature as the material it's going through. Nope, really hot. At least the melting point's 1063 on these, and the temperature transfer is quite good. I know for a fact we'll never hit the melting point of most of this stuff, but I'm still worried that we won't be getting it to the temperatures required to be able to continue dropping it inside the base. That's the bigger problem. As you can see, it's still somewhat warmer than its surrounding environment. I have to be careful of that. Good, oops. Almost completely clean this out. Good. Gibbs, can we please move this one out? Don't know where we need to put it now besides over here. Also, so. That's great. Let's just drain the entire thing here. I'll replace the entire naphtha cooling loop with supercoolant. It'll allow me to do a lot more. We will be using this for the bees, so keeping them at like -40 is always a better option than not. Because if they go above 0.01 degrees, they will die. That's why I'm like, yeah, we just need to make a giant super like refrigerator. Who's getting scalding? Cheryl, how in the hell did you... Ow! Oh, literally, how? How in the hell did you get in here? What? Did you phase through the tile? Oh, you would have been burned in there. How in the fucking hell did you pull this off? Let me check your pathing. How did you... How? Did you have a suit on it? It just disintegrated? No, it doesn't do that. It would have fallen on the ground somewhere. Hold up. Oh, literally, how did he just... How? How'd you go through it? There's no suits. It's not even this is fine. It's the... He's just gonna go running out back in the somewhat hot oxygen, get a slight burn. Or not. You just resistant to the heat, buddy? Is that what's going on? Oh, there's your damage. Yeah, I always keep my bases oxygenated, so that way, even if they have a problem, they can still make it out okay. I just don't know how the fuck he made it through the airlock without... Like, there's only one way in, one way out of this base. He can only go through this door. There is no other way to get around. Because that's sealed in. He can't go through there. How the hell did he do that? I think it's more along the lines of he phased through the door. But no, there's only one way in and out of this base. The problem is they can technically phase through material. So if you're not looking at a planet for a while, what'll happen is that the map is compressed in Unity, because Action Not Included runs on Unity. And what'll happen is that the actual map tile shrinks. If I was running debug mode, I could zoom out and I could show you, because all of the other planets that are running, including the rockets, are actually rendered off screen onto the right and left, down and up, and the maps actually shrink. And what happens is when they shrink, your dupes are on a different working layer. Oh, and you had to piss in your sleep, didn't you? But they're on a different working layer than the pipe network or any of these other actual layers that the game renders on. And what happens is that you can actually have quantum tunneling, like poke shells and bees. Your bees can actually hit your dupes through walls because they're rendered like diagonally through stuff. I've had these guys hit my dupes over here on the rock crusher when they're standing here, because this layer and these guys' layer is actually the same layer at the same time. So you can have quantum tunneling like poke shell spawns. The problem is that I don't normally see the dupes actually able to go through walls or doorways, especially with priority orders. Should be this one, correct? Yeah. Hub can only go technically in and out right now. We'll just set him up. Set up Shiramoto, because I already had him going before. But it looks like he possibly phased through the door without actually hitting the atmosphere checkpoint. Because again, the navigation... Let me grab a dupe here. Joe. Show navigation. So this is all of his normal... This is like every path that he can possibly reach. As you can see. Which, again, actually not included. It's very good with its pathfinding. But you'll notice, you can't actually climb up here. And this door is not locking him off. This door is. But the thing is he still has to go through an atmospheric checkpoint. And this is set for always, so these will always have to be filled. And if there's no suits here, this will be redded out. But there was 2 suits, and he phased through it somehow. And the only real guess I can think of would have been maybe he used this door to phase through this tile when I wasn't looking at the map, but he can't reach this. Not to mention he would have gotten scalded, and I would have gotten the scalding warning the second he made it into this chamber, if he somehow phased through this door. Which it didn't look like he did. It looked like he went all the way around and came up. Which tells me that possibly he went through this door. The only thing I can think of is maybe this tile interacted with him. It's really hard. It's a really hard thing to like figure out, because normally this will only happen when you're not looking at a planet. Because when you're not looking at a planet, the data is still processing, but the actual game will shrink the overall map into its primary layers. And then that's when the shenanigans starts happening. And shit breaks down really quickly. Also, I probably need to install a med bay, because that will probably not be the only time that happens. He already did it once. Any place I can... Whoa. I could just slap it in. Actually, not really a good idea. Probably move the gym. Yeah, screw it. Let's just remove that and slap that down. But if you end up watching the entire series from start to now, Clayton, you'll find where I have to cover this from time to time with other people that have shown up and asked questions about it. Because we've had stuff where it just doesn't make sense. And it's just like, most likely it's because of that. There's also a couple other bugs that come into play due to neutronium and its proximity to points of interest, or POIs. Especially like over here on Ebola specifically. It looks like they have patched it now, but if you do not have enough pressure inside of an object that is within 16 tiles, I believe it was, that was reported and the devs confirmed it on the forums a while back. But if there is an object within 16 tiles of the right and left side of the map, so one of these volcanoes or any geyser or anything, if you do not supplant the environment with a gas or a liquid, depending on what volcano or event it is, with enough pressure, like say you put it in a vacuum, this volcano will actually put out material. Instead of at this 2,226.9 centigrade, it will actually be at absolute zero. Because the game is actually calculating the vacuum as an instantaneous temperature transfer medium. And what happens is that everything that comes out of this would freeze instantaneously. So you end up just having a giant wad of whatever the geyser is, frozen solid at absolute zero, right here on the actual exit, which can instantaneously lock up whatever you build around it. That bug is still in play to this day. It kind of comes and goes. So one patch it'll be here, another patch it'll be gone. But it is definitely a very annoying frustration, because normally you want to push over 100 kilograms of gas or 100 kilograms of water, which 100 kilograms of water is a lot easier to obtain than, 100 kilograms of gas into one little chamber. Normally you have to flood it with water, then let the system steam it off and hope it doesn't overpressure or break. And then you can go from there. But it can be annoying. Now, we do have new printables. Let's see, what do we got? Building impaired, undigging, uncultured, rocketry research, stinky. 6 bad, but not great. Unempathetic, nyctophobic. Oven doctoring. We don't really need another doctor, Nicola. Sorry, buddy. And then a ruby with suit wearing building. Germ resistant, unempathetic. Yeah, not really. We'll take the Sweetle eggs. Take them back over on Palin. Yep. There's the temperatures up here. 37.3. Okay, they're already going back down. Probably need to scoot the excess material out of here. Back into these bins. One of the dupes will get around to fixing that. It is like, what, how many tons of igneous rock is that? 3, 1, there, 24, 20, yeah. The big chunks. Okay. Checkpoint. That. Nope. Piss from earlier. I gotta clean that up. There we go. I thought about building a large-scale, multi-chest automated storage system. The problem is trying to do that for like filter systems is just not possible in the current core keeper, because you can't really filter like a singular chest system because there's no item filters. It's technically possible, but it'd be really janky to do it. Is the way that you would need it, you would never have a base resource as a storage bin. It would have to be, you would have to use smelters as the filter system. And even then it would be really janky. The only other way would be to technically put in timers, and then, yeah, you'd have to smelt, then timer, then spread it, and that way you could do it. Yep. Yeah, the only thing I can think of would be to time it, and then utilize the smelting times in the smelters to ascertain which item is which, and then use the low energy power nodes to send signals to each of the actual grab arms to only pull when it's that exact signal. And that's the only way to technically item filter in Core Keeper until they actually add item filters themselves. It's super derpy. like ye olde redstoning, and not in a good way. I do feel like I need to rejig this. So I can scoot this one back a tile and then allow this to move over by one, or actually connect through here instead. And then that would just cause a problem with cutting this thing off every other tile. The biggest problem is I did want to build a fully functioning, just continuous loop. The problem with that is that this piece of neutronium is here. This one little piece of neutronium is actually causing me more problems than anything else. Because if it wasn't here, then I could easily just link this directly through there. Again with the scolding. Oh, sand. That's why. Okay, sand makes sense on this one. I did not disable the other suit, and he decided to take it off. God damn it. And we're... Suit back on immediately. Also, you're going to need to disable this building because you're calculating that as a suit dock rather than a lead suit dock. I forgot that they did not change that. There we go. Yeah, every single different suit dock counts as a regular suit dock, and I keep forgetting about that. So the problem with this is that when he decided to go through it, even though this can only accept lead suits, he still took his suit off thinking that it was a suit dock. And it's like, it's not a lead suit you're wearing, buddy. That is an Atmos suit. Completely different. I'm mildly scolded for that one. There we go. Okay. That's disabled. We're safe. The one where they use lit floor tiles along with the paintable floors light up their storage room. I may do that. Do it in blue to complement the glow tulips, but I need a ton of octane ore, which I have 5 veins for. Ah, gotcha. Just remember, if you need a cable or anything, you gotta take the walls down, put the cables down, then put the walls on top of them. That's how you organize it. It's actually not terrible, but it's definitely a... You gotta get used to it. Yeah, sadly this will be running at half. I don't like that, but we're gonna have to deal with it. Ah, good. Yeah, this will be running at half cooling. It should be okay. It's super coolant, so I don't really have to worry about it too much. Again, space resources in this game are like the hyper, physics breaking super weapons that you can pretty much just throw at anything and it will solve the problem. And in most cases, it will be overkill. Oh, well that's good. I didn't know if it actually needed cables or not. Well, that's good to know. Yes, hopefully Shiramato will not somehow phase through that door again. Keep an eye on him, so we don't have to worry about him as much. How's our temperatures over here? 39.7. Temperatures over here are down to 2. Good. Should probably start getting up close. Well. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's the only thing that's going to take some time to get used to and get done. Okay, that should all be dupe safe. No sand or snow or anything. Okay, should all be perfectly fine to clean up. I'm super worried about this. It should be fine. Should be able to handle it. If it doesn't, then I just bring over super coolant. We go the whole ham. I don't have to think about it like at all. Everyone should be able to come through that needs to. Yes. And yes. Okay. Once they get back on a work schedule, they should be good to go. I'm actually getting a lot of squeaky puffs. Downside, I can't utilize them here. I actually need to get squeaky puffs over to Butalon. Because I want to tap this chlorine vent at some point in the future and start making bleach stone specifically for hot tubs. Obviously, the first hot tub will be here because it's the most readily accessible one. I'll probably actually clean this area out down here, expand the base down here, and put the hot tub right there. Where the dupes will have direct access on the main line. I don't need to think about it. Okay. Now let's dig this back up again. Let's start applying more cooling. The more cooling we can apply per time, well, not really per cycle, but per cycle when we're cooling this down, the faster we get to the sulfur geyser. The faster I get to infinite water, dirt, and food. Sulfur geysers are done. Really, 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 really good. I'm gonna do the next best thing. And just do this. It should lock up the entire pipe. And then we'll just plumber the rest of the thing completely clean before we start throwing supercoolant into it. Come on, dupes. Come on. Should force pipe priority. Yes, it does. Okay. Now we just drain that entire thing, switch it up for supercoolant, and we should be good after that. Well, once the temperature gets kicked down. A lot of our supercoolant's going to be very, very hot. Thanks, Dev. Yeah, that's going to be really annoying. You want, let's get 2 plumbers over here so we can speed up the process. Probably. Nope. There. What are you doing? Like, I have hit 0 stamina. Thump. Yep. Hello. Just immediately KOs himself right there. Yeah, well. That's fine, Bear. Two more to go. And... come on. We can do it. There we go. Okay, Bear, take care of that. Oh, yeah. The dupes exemplify that mentality. Bear wakes up. Dev comes back, does the job instead. Thanks, Dev. You could have let Bear have that one. That was his, I did something to help. Now, well. Yeah, I can come in here and help finish this one up. That's nice. That. And add here. There we go. Check this. 4. It's trying. $38.1. I was up to 39, but it's already going back down. Oh, no, there it is. There's the 39. Oh, that's why there's more coming in. 1,281 degrees. It's hot. Thankfully, that's only really transferring up to about 200 to 300. Oh, almost 500. Yes. Temperature goes right back down. Yep. Yeah, we're taking it from 1,200 degrees and kicking it down to about 40. Actually, 36 in certain cases. A hell of a cooling device. Really hope it can withstand it all. If it can't, then I can always just turn off stuff from time to time. I can always just try to gauge an actual temperature check. If it gets too hot, then I can shut down these things. Okay, good. All these will be getting kicked way below their running like actual caps. Steam turbines can only run at up to 100 degrees. Right now, none of these can actually run at all until I get the temperatures down. Just gotta wait on that one. But it is getting there. A massive improvement. So... I will admit this. This will probably get cooked at the start, and then it will start going down really, really quickly. Because most of the supercoolant coming in here is probably going to be really, really, really hot. That one won't be because that just came straight out of the machine. About, yeah, 34 degrees. Up. You know what? Let's go negative 40. There we go. Okay. That should run no problem. And Public Loop's coming down here and grab that first. They're grabbing the other stuff instead. Okay. Yep. It'll be a while before that's all nice and normalized. Actually, I should probably just stop making this. That way we can take the rest of it down here in the nuclear reactor room and not be in the nuclear reactor room. The best. $5 to 39.6. $48. Higher priority that one. Burns coming in. Thankfully the lava is cool enough that it can't breach this or cause any level of burns or damage. There it goes. It's already up to 46 degrees. Gotta be careful of that. Okay, good. Did grab everything. Imagine how hot this is. Yep. It's very much in the this is hot. This is really hot category. Damn it. Good news is it will be stabilized. Bad news is it's gonna be hot for probably a half a cycle. Hot. It's very hot. Good news is that shouldn't cause too much of a problem, but that's a lot of red. I don't like it. Come on, Aqua. Come on out, Thermal Aqua Tuner. You can do it. Pull it down. Please. Really goddamn hot. uh... Literally alternating between hot and cold in the pipe. Oh, that's concerning. That is a good thing to see. Stabilize. Bear. No, Sandwich. What are you doing? 36% stamina. Whatever it is you're doing, stop it. No. Still 122-degree supercoolant in there. It'll take a couple of rounds before it starts getting to a normalized temperature. Going down over there, which is good. Mark hold. And out. Section. Pretty okay. It looks like it. Haven't had any weirdness for people teleporting through stuff. Good. Out. Mm-hmm. $35.27. Not making very good time today. To be having to monitor everything. Not good. Definitely get around to that one eventually. $122. Temperatures are still continuing to fall because supercoolant is overpowered as hell, and I love it. Best fluid. Period. Best fluid in this game. There's a couple other ones that are really good, but you know, supercoolant is just the best. I'd say it and liquid niobium, which are two of the hardest things to obtain. Still has not emptied yet. Taking its sweet time, isn't it? Don't know what we're gonna do with this. Or the neural ventilators. I'm assuming we'll just probably put them in boxes, and then if we get any charges, we just bring the charges over. That's really about it. I'll think of something to do with them in a much later episode. Ooh, Paku. Yeah, definitely take them, but which place does not have Paku? Now these guys do not. They have an infinite supply of meat, so I don't really have to worry about them. Guys, we already got those guys set up. Maybe you guys set up as well. You know what? Screw it. Add them to the giant bin. Should hopefully go that way. Once they hit the ground, that is. I do know we will need lead suits for this, so I'm kind of like, how do we want to do it? Are disabled, right? Yes. There we go. Probably need to remove this one insulated tile and put a second one here so we can have two dupes running around inside the nuclear reactor. Obviously when it's off, just a precaution. So we can definitely do that. Market is slightly over 50%. Starting to think that we'll call it at 1467 here. I am starting to get very tired. I'm mostly just waiting on the dupes to get stuff done, which is expected. Say at this tier. But you get to this point where it's like, we're going to start working on mega structures, and you're just going to be sitting around waiting for a couple hours so this stuff gets done, and then micromet is the stuff where you need to worry about the dupes instantly possibly getting themselves killed. Or teleporting through materials, or quantumly entangling themselves with a poke shell or a radioactive bee, aka the Beatus. There's many things that could go wrong at this point. A second garage because it's offline. Perfectly okay. I should probably check. Are you guys now? Nope. Nope. They're perfectly fine. I was like, are you cramped yet? No. Good. Exactly. And the problem with Action Not Included when working on these large mega projects, you really can't leave them alone unless you're working on, like, say, a rocket silo. Like, there are some constructions that you can just kind of AFK them and don't have to care, but a lot of them you actually need to pay attention to them because the build order of items is extremely important. Like, I could probably queue up all of this stuff, but then I'd have to dismantle everything, then vacuum out the entire place, and then put it all back in, because you can't really do it in one go. So that's a big problem for this one, but yeah. Oh yeah, no. Number one rule of Action Not Included, never trust your dupes. You can believe in what they're doing is correct, but never trust them to actually do it. Yes, the number one rule I always adhere to is never trust your duplicates. You can love the little guys, you can absolutely, completely believe in them, but never trust them. Their AI is just too stupid to actually be able to function. At least unsupervised. Doesn't matter how many priorities you set up, doesn't how much research you do, if it is not a portion of an automation system, you're going to eventually find a fault, because the dupes will make a fault. There is nothing you can do about that. How is the temperature over here? Ah, good. Already starting to reach negative 50. Beautiful. Yeah, super coolant is a hell of a drug. God dang. Can we just get a sweepy in Core Keeper? Like, in all honesty, just give me the ability to just place down a machine that would just move back and forth like a Roomba and pick stuff up and then replant it. We have sweepies here, but they're completely useless unless you do a very, 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 very specific and annoying build. Because you could technically use sweepies for asteroid cleanup, but you have to literally drip cool them because of how their system works. It's really janky. It works, it's just not a fun concept to work around. Because they will eventually overheat, and there's nothing you can do about it if they're in space. Unless you have pre-built-in cooling via liquid, like drip systems. Because the big problem is the sweepies will actually pick up fluids. So you can't actually cool a sweepy dock because the sweepy will actually clean up the coolant. So the only real way to actually to cool these things off is to technically drip a cold resource, and I do mean like any of them, and drip it directly onto the primary tile, which is the left tile right underneath the plug, and you drip it from above. Probably. I mean, I tapped those things, what, 4 days ago in the public server? I would assume that they're probably empty by now. Okay, let's pre-plan some more super coolant. We're very close to having a nice new cooling loop done. Also stupidly powerful. Yay, super coolant! One of my favorite resources. Thank goodness. Yeah, feel free to move any of my mining equipment in the public server. Especially if the vein's been depleted completely. Yep. 40, and that's down to 23. Okay. Yeah. I think I'm going to call it here for tonight. We've been going for almost 7 hours. Obviously, it's not the same amount of time for this recording, but we've been streaming for about 7 hours tonight, which has been pretty good. Tomorrow I will be doing more Oxygen Not Included. Gotta get episode 87 done. But so far, so good. Getting the supercoolant in and making more was extremely important. And then this one's got to get put in. This needs to be connected up here, and then this needs to be severed. Actually, it doesn't need to be severed here. It needs to be severed here. And that way, this B setup and this B setup will be permanently protected, and I never need to worry about them again. So I think for now, we can call it. This is kind of an interim episode, and I'm okay with that. The bees are very happy. My downside is sometimes they'd like to quantum tunnel and attack my dupes when they're nowhere near them. But that's just something the bees do. That's normal. I wouldn't call it a good thing. I would just call it a minor inconvenience, because then my dupes are just like, ow, 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 why? Why? I'm in a suit. It's like, god damn it. Because normally this is the normal reaction. They do nothing. Because they can't puncture the suits normally. But when you look away, you can have Schrodinger's cat decide to rear its ugly head and just stab them continuously when you're not actually paying attention. It can be frustrating. But that's why we have doctors. But, yeah. I think for now, we're pretty good to call it for tonight. 1367. From the rest. Not a minor, a minor. My dudes aren't mining the bees. If anything, the bees mine for themselves because I need them to clean up all the uranium on the map safely. They're way more efficient than I am. Confirm the save. Okay. It's actually looking pretty good. Up. And up. There we go. But yeah, I'm pretty content with the overall progress. Getting supercoolant and actually distributing it effectively already feels pretty good. Downside is that I have like 4 cooling loops that really do need supercoolant, and I gotta get that shipped around to the other planets, which means we need to make a lot more of it, which also means we need to make more rocket launches to the Gilded Asteroid to pick up more chlorine. But besides that, it's really, really nice. We only had like 2 weird instances today, which is also fine. We did just have a hotfix, so maybe that was probably pertinent to it. It didn't happen again after the first thing where Shiro ended up going through a wall. So it's like, okay, hopefully that stays that way and doesn't happen again. But yeah, I'll take it.